Hello, everyone. Today's topic is called biases that shape our healthcare beliefs. Um, to start off, throughout the TED Talk, it talks about how biases influence what we believe, and especially in our healthcare, and how we believe maybe if one thing happened for God knows what reason. Let's say the example like the wheelchair, just because it happened to someone, just because you don't really know the full context, you should never believe that, honestly. And there could be different and multiple outcomes, but it should be important to know what's factual, what's biased, what's untruthful, what's just a lie, in other words. And the perspective or the situation I'm gonna use is a person who influences me, which is my mom. And to start off, I want to explain what intrinsic biases. This is when basically our beliefs shape how we are well, not either, but how we're raised, our culture, and just overall personal experiences, how we view things, even if they're not scientifically proven. This could be like not stereotypes. This could be, oh, sometimes stereotypes could be an example, but what's it called? I forgot the word, but when you think something's gonna happen, I forgot what the word is, but when you think something's gonna happen because that's how you were raised, you know. Honestly, my mom, she's always scared that things will happen because you do things like going under the ladder. Maybe there's this thing where in her hometown, you have to blow at a what's called at a well. If not, some like they call it aire, which means air in English, but it makes more sense in Spanish. It's when, I guess, not a spirit, but like some, let's say you don't do that, right? Maybe the next day or like a next hour, your legs start hurting or your neck starts hurting. That's basically like not like cultural belief they have. And honestly, my mom, she studied nursery, so she has her degree and diploma and all that, but she still believes these things. That's why, because she was raised this way, or just overall just her own beliefs, and that's how they shape minds as well. I think this comes from just overall my mom's culture and just from my grandma. My grandma's staying right now, and honestly, she tells us stories about how this happened to my mom, how this happened to her in like her younger years. Like I think it's what my mom heard or how she was raised with my grandma. I think that follows with everyone else. We believe what our parents believe, honestly. Or that's how I do. I'm not aware of everyone, but that's my own personal response. And to connect to the video, I think the I just know principle, it's unethical, but you could see the connection. Let's say you see I don't know, a car crash, this and that. You'll say, hey, I just know maybe because this happened, they probably didn't believe in this, or probably they did something that you believe in that probably caused it. It's unethical, honestly. And it's more how we believe it. It's more, or how this bias works is how people only believe from personal experiences or just how they were raised, instead of using a scientific method or just actual evidence to just criticize or just overall answer or define how they think. And a vaccine could be an example because I've seen and I've met many families where they believe that that their child shouldn't get shots or they shouldn't get blood in them that's not from theirs. That could be just beliefs and excuse me, cultural followings. And I think sometimes they should. I don't want to cross boundaries, but I think sometimes they should think before acting because sometimes they have consequences. And I think, I think, I think overall, my mom has her own way of thinking, and I wouldn't say she's wrong or she's right. But I think sometimes in some situations where there should be used logic and evidence, she should think differently because sometimes things have to be ethical and how to be actually not smart, but like use evidence to prove something. And sometimes, yeah, sometimes bias comes into play, like your own personal beliefs. Let's say something happened, maybe superstition. Superstition, that's the word. But sorry. Like her own experiences. Let's say something fell, maybe it's a superstition, like oh, this is bad luck, something like that. You could understand it. But overall, the video shows how we should recognize how bias influences or just affects how we think in our health decisions. Like my mom, like as stated, she studied nursery in Mexico, and she's really smart. I won't say nothing about that, but we should put our beliefs before our healthcare. My mom, even though she believes in all these things, even though she knows these things, even her culture, she puts what's logical first. She knows what should be thought through, yeah, or should be just changed overall because she has her, I guess, studies and all that, and she knows when to different. Oh, sorry. When to separate her beliefs and logic. Since honestly, there's sometimes where some situations you should depend on your logic or just overall beliefs, and there's some other times you should believe in logic and evidence, like getting a shot, I don't know, lawsuits, and just logical situations, honestly. But overall, we shouldn't let bias take control of our actions, take control of what we think, just because we know, just because our cultures, because we just know it overall. But in other words, healthcare should be thought through and be answered in a smart and ethical way. Thank you.